Good day. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and this is for Wednesday, the 17th of June, 2020. All right, it's pretty much a lot of red behind me today, as you can see. Just about all of the stock indices were down, the ETFs that follow them, QQQ up. What's new? The tech stocks have been the strongest, we know that. But even XLK was down today, not going with it. Metals pretty flat, not doing much of anything as I'm seeing it. The yen got a bid, which was a surprise to me. I don't know what that was about. And as you come around on these other spiders, most sectors down a little bit. So when we take a look at the XLK, the old high of 102.94 that we made back here, and that was right at the end of February, beginning of March, we went up and challenged it last week, and we've been stuck right at that area. That's all it is stuck. I'm not saying it's bullish or bearish right there. When I add to the chart the swing line study, the swing line is not trending. The swing line has clearly a higher high, but it's also got a lower low. A trend is often made up just like this, higher lows and then higher highs. You don't have that. Sorry that I left that cursor on there. Shouldn't be a bother though. When we look at the moving averages, the bias is up since price is over the 18-day average of closes, and we still have the 100-day average over the 200 and the 18 over both. When we take a look at the Bollinger Bands, the resistance is right here, 104.26. And remember, a Bollinger Band is an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within the band 95% of the time. Think of it acting as a fence on prices to the upside and as a support area on the downside. So a barrier to get through there, and it's very hard to stay over it. Only 5% of the time will you. Second part, momentum. It had been pointing down and now it is flattened out, but any up move here is going to kick that 68.49 level into the 70 rating of overbought. So I could get a market on an upswing tomorrow that gets itself, if you will, into the Bollinger Band, but it's overbought all of a sudden. So I don't think you're going to get a big move out of that. That's just my guess. When we take a look at SMH, the trend is defined by the swing line is down. Now what the market did is it slipped back here to get down to the 18-day average, held that number, and then you got to bounce. Okay, that doesn't prove anything to me one way or the other with it. I see this market as totally neutral. Swing line down, bias up, and again, overbought. When we step over to XLI, XLI needs a close under the 18-day average to reaffirm its bearishness. Without that, it's neutral. Again, we have a pattern of lower highs and lower lows. However, you're staying over the 18-day average. Close under it, the first objective becomes right here, 68.09. Get under that, maybe you're looking at 63.84. What about the upside? It's not a one-way street with this chart. If the market were to clear 72.49, you could end up with higher lows, a higher high, looking for the 200-day average, which should be a bit of a problem for the market. And then, if it clears it, maybe the 76.16 level, right up through the Bollinger Band top. You've got a double-edged sword on that one. As we come to the energy sector, higher high, lower low, fighting between, and it's been doing this, the 100-day average and the 18. I have no opinion on that. Oversold market, a rough one. What could turn it bullish? To the downside, I don't have an opinion. If it gets back over 41.90, you could have higher lows, then a higher high. In an oversold market, that's a recipe for even more short covering. So that could be something that happens. When we come to QQQ, the trend remains bullish, but overbought, higher lows, higher highs, and you're back up to that old number here where the resistance is the upper Bollinger Band. There is nothing other than the market getting under 231.47, which is an $11 break. It's a big one to turn the trend down, assuming you don't take out 247.82. In the EFA, the emerging markets, this is no trend again. We have a market with a higher high, lower low, sort of stuck here, right at the 18-day average. It stuck its neck out one time, found the 100-day average was supportive, but that ended when it came back, and the market right back here yesterday rallied through this high. So you ended the downtrend, but the support showed up where it should. Key moving averages are often an area that if the market's above it and they fall, the in and out traders might look to take money off a table from. As we get over to GLD, well, this could turn bullish on the swing line. Any move now over 162.69 will give you a pattern of higher lows and higher highs when that happens. Over the 18-day average, the bias would be up just as it is now, but you're overbought. If it rallied from there, 164.66. Can anything turn it bearish from here? Well, it could. If you took out the lows of Tuesday and didn't take out Tuesday's high, instead went for the low, you could end up with lower highs and then starting to break down the market. You've already had a lower low. Got it? It's either way. Tomorrow's one of these strange days where there's just a ton of potential setups. There aren't a few. There's a ton of them. In the gold miners, I've been saying this market's got a lot of resistance. I could argue tonight that we have a pattern of lower highs and a lower low. I should not have that here. I got that because I wanted to show you how the 18-day average would show itself, but that arrow should point down right there. That's all. If you take out 33.68, the trend is over to the downside. So 33.69, what would happen is higher lows, higher highs, projecting possibly a challenge of the upper Bollinger Band. If you break down from here, because the trend is down, the pros have the edge. They're short, in my opinion at least. They might look for 31.74. As we step over to TLT, I see downside. I've been bearish, and it's still there. But I have said, and I'm going to continue to say to you, I think the downside in the futures markets, in the bonds and notes, as well as TLT for the moment, is dangerous only because I look at the Fed and they don't want interest rates to move. They're trying to keep them low. They're going to keep that policy going. If you want to fight them, terrific. I don't. I've been around this too long. The Fed always wins. I don't know what else to tell you. When we look at FXE, all I was looking for when we lost the embedded reading was a challenge of the 18-day average. It's done. I don't care if it hits it or not. You're close enough. Game over as far as I'm concerned. When you get within 4 cents, that's close. Now we'll see what happens, because this is the area that I'm assuming if you're bullish, you're looking for the market to start very gradually showing itself. You've already worked out of the market from an overbought condition. We'll see what happens. So you put it all together, you're trying to come up with where you're at. Now, as I told you, as regular followers here, I put together a combo package. And it's a special pricing for the 2 videos, the ETF video in the afternoon for the subscriber, the morning subscriber video for the futures, because they tie together. If you're trading DIA, SPY, QQQ, you can't trade them without looking at the futures. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I think you understand what I'm saying. How do you trade an FXY without looking at the Japanese yen? So in the morning, I cover all these markets, 40 of them on the futures markets, and 34 of them now. Actually, with today, I added another one, 35 on the ETFs. I'm going to get you to 40 on that. And I'm looking at names. Like today, one of our viewers wrote, and it was a name I've been looking at too that I want. It's called BETZ. It's the betting, bets, the ETF. It's only been around 7 days, maybe 10. I don't know. Not enough data for us to trade yet. No chart data that I can make sense. Down the road, yeah, it's one of them I want to add. But how do you get this? Go to our website under the word research. You'll see everything right there. Go to it. You'll see it 1, 2, 3. If you go to the morning futures video, you'll see the combo offer in there too. Look at the information. It's that simple. I'm Ira. You have a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.